r/AskReddit by Reddify. What screams I'm terrible with money? Filling your giant swimming pool up, then being unable to pay the water bill, resulting in your water being shut off for months, forcing you to use the pool water for your water needs, as in flushing the toilet, cooking, drinking, etc., until the health debt catches wind of it and has your kids taken. Then you go around the neighborhood knocking on doors asking your neighbors for money to pay your water bill so you can get your kids back. They will come take your kids in this state if your house is without water for X days because it's considered uninhabitable. Having rent a center come out with a giant TV and living room suite. Having Comcast come out the same day and turn on your cable, but not paying your electric bill, so 3 days later you're knocking on your neighbor's doors asking for money to pay your electric bill because it's been turned off. Then sneaking onto same neighbors' porches at night and plugging extension cords into their porch outlets. These were my old neighbors. Joining the military and then buying a brand new Mustang or Camaro as soon as you get out of basic training. I once knew a waitress who complained about never being able to afford anything. Then bought a brand new car. OMG, I can't afford my college textbooks. Then takes a cruise in Mexico the next week. My doctor visit is $30. OMG, I hate America. Then proceeds to buy $80 Eichedau. I have a friend who was recently working a lower wage hourly job, car mechanic of some kind. He has a juvie record, never been had responsible for much in his life. He recently inherited about $30k and decided to buy a new truck, new gaming computer, and then packed up his stuff, his fiancée, and moved from Central Texas to Colorado in hopes of opening a marijuana dispensary. Within 3 weeks, he was broke and moved back to Central Texas, but had to borrow money the first week back to be able to eat. I mean, there was no thought as to how he was going to start up a business. He just knew he wanted to legally sell weed in a state oversaturated with other legal weed brokers. He's good at playing video games though. My old roommate was terrible with money. She couldn't afford her car payment, so she went out and got a brand new car so she wouldn't have to make a payment for another month. I'm not kidding. No idea how she got approved for the loan. Had a friend do this. When I got a very small incremental raise, the first thing that came out of his mouth was, "You should buy a new car." At the time, I had a relatively new, paid off Nissan Sentra, and I couldn't grasp why incurring a new car payment would be a good option. Edit. Well, this blew up. I should thank my friend for having a terrible concept of how to spend money. Lots of nicely done tattoos, but complains about not having enough money for basic necessities. Friend and her fiance are saving to buy a place together. The friend works her ass off, is very frugal and saves up a lot. Meanwhile, the fiance bought a plot of land and a trailer to put on said land without telling her. She found out when she saw the massive withdrawal in their joint bank account. Edit. Fiance, not fiance. Finance streams. Asking you what they should buy because they have a little left over from their paycheck. Save it. Fun money is fine. But if you don't even know what you want to waste money on, and it's just burning a hole in your pocket, just freaking save it. Crying to me that she can't pay her rent and skips meals so that her cats can eat. Next weekend charges 1k on cosplay items because it's an investment. These are high quality and will last me 4 years. Also, she buys small bags of $20 designer coffee. Well, let's see. My ex-father-in-law was incredibly bad with money. He would constantly buy and trade in new cars over and over again. I'm talking 60k cars too. New trucks, Jeeps, a Corvette, everything. In a year he'd easily go through 4 new cars at minimum. But oh wait, it gets better. He took an early withdrawal out of his 401k, paying penalties and all, to buy a Corvette while they offered 0% financing. On top of that, I found out he was taking multiple home equity loans out. He bought his house in 2003 for 80k and now owes 165k. All of this while constantly shouting to everyone about how, if you work hard, you can have these things too. Let's just say I'm happy to be out of that family and not with my ex anymore. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Edit. Almost forgot. He's retired and receiving a fixed income pension right now. He also does some work at an apartment complex. However, he works too much there and has to pay back part of his pension every year in taxes. I can't make this hit up, people. At least that is what he told me. It could be social security he's paying back. Or he really just has no ducking clue what's going on. A formerly $100K car. While it may have depreciated to now being cheaper than a new Camry, the maintenance and mechanical parts have not. S-Class Mercedes from 2002 aren't exactly known for their reliability. First date. I know that my profile says I wouldn't date someone in considerable debt, but I'm actually 8 grand in debt. What did you buy? Go to uni. Nah, just stuff. Edit. She didn't drive. Go to uni or have medical bills. UK anyway. She also lived at home. By stuff I mean stuff. If you are enjoying the video, please give a thumbs up and leave a comment. Never having money when you have a decent income. Ostentatious displays of alleged wealth flossing. People who don't have a lot of money but who want others to assume they do often drive the cheapest cars offered by luxury auto brands and or festoon themselves in branded clothing and accessories that scream brand. A good example is a Louis Vuitton or Coach bag vs an Hermes Birkin bag. The LV or Coach bag seems expensive to most people and has the brand logo plastered all over it. The Hermes bag is both legitimately and shockingly expensive. And even having the opportunity to buy one isn't a guarantee. Yet the Birkin really has no branding on it at all. If you're rich enough, you'll know what it is without having to have the brand screamed at you. Driving a Mercedes when you have a second chance checking account uses their bank balance rather than a budget to determine whether they can afford something. My bank account. Financing a puppy. If you're gonna buy a sofa for PS6, 000 only pay PS2, 000 and get the other PS4, 000 on finance. That means you can get more stuff. It's what I did. Don't get me anything for my Christmas, because I'll not be able to get you anything. I'm so broke. I can't spare PS10 inches. This was the same person. I didn't spend PS6, 000 on a sofa like they did. Joining an MLM. Only $2,000 for my starter kit. Great. Making $300 plus as a bartender in a night. Goes on a all-inclusive vacation every couple months. Goes out drinking almost every night. Finished nursing school 1.5 years ago and still hasn't written her licensing exam. Complains that she's gonna be paying off student loans forever. Girl, you cold paid off those loans in a year with the money you're making. Not to mention you live at home, and all major expenses are paid for. It's weird really. It's almost like people want to be stuck at the bottom. I got my living room set at Rent a Center. A mother who comes in to speak to the teacher of one of 5 children to tell her she's finding it hard to afford to feed her family, what with having to pay for 6 mobile phone contracts. My wife was the teacher, which is how I know about it. Talks about their 293,928 different loans. You know that one person who has lots of weed and water but can't pay rent? My sister. When our dad passed away in 2007, she received about $75K in 2 vehicles that still needed to be paid off. The payoff amounts for the 2 vehicles, 2004 and 2005 models, were $3K and $6K. Instead of doing what everyone else is thinking, she gives them back to the dealer and then buys 2 different vehicles for about $60K. A new 40 TV, large for that time, and new carpet installed that very same day for about $3K. She gave me $5K, and I made that last for 11 months. She blew through hers in about 5 weeks. Now, she is almost disabled. Had to move 3 times due to her husband refusing to work, and threatened to kick my ass when I called him out on that. 2 very autistic kids. Receives government assistance for the kids, and is always broke. I know 5 people that fit this exact description. Brand new Subaru WRX. Brand new iPhone X, or newest flagship phone every year. Hundreds of dollars each week spent on vape gear and juice. California minimum wage job, $11 an hour. Lives at home with parents, which may save them money in the long run. but doesn't do them any favors with their present spending habits. I have learned from others never to let them borrow money from you. They won't just never pay you back. They will get pissy and threaten you if you try and press the issue. Apparently their families are connected to Triad, which here in IVNCA is an actual possibility, so you have to actually be careful if you don't want strange things to happen. A $50K truck in front of